With the pandemic subsiding and the world finally opening up, employment options are finally starting to get broader. While employment for industries that could conduct their daily businesses online boomed, it definitely wasn't for everyone. In fact, at around 3%, it was only as recent as February 2022 that the unemployment rate came down to the level it was at before the pandemic for the first time in 2 years. The employment options are wide, plenty, and sometimes downright strange, but many of them pay much better than you'd expect. Well, without further ado, let's look at the top 15 odd jobs that pay well in 2022. 15 Online Dating Ghostwriter. Have you ever swiped left on someone instantly because of how bad their Tinder bio was? Didn't matter how cute or how close they were, or what they might be like in real life. That bio was an instant turnoff. Isn't it unfair that some people don't get a fair shot at finding love online just because they can't write? Well, that's where you could come in and help these poor souls out. As an online dating ghostwriter, you would be expected to craft some clever bios to help your clients find success in the platforms of their choice. Experienced online dating ghostwriters can make up to $80 to $100 per profile. Number 14. Toy maker. Products for children are among the most widely sold items in the world, and somebody has to make them. Professional toy makers are widely sought after because they have to make entertaining, simple, durable, and safe for children to play with. It's a highly specialized skill set that you would need a degree in the arts along with some knowledge of engineering and CAD that can pay rather handsomely with a little bit of experience under the belt. The average annual salary for toy makers in the United States is about $96,353, over twice the national average income. Number 13. Undertaker. Have you ever heard of a kid saying they wanted to grow up to be an Undertaker? Yeah, me neither. But it turns out that Undertakers earn well above the national average, and rightfully so. Being an Undertaker is a demanding job. As a funeral director, you would be in charge of everything when it comes to only organizing funerals, from arranging the transportation between mortuaries and funerals, helping the families with administrative tasks like writing obituaries, to overseeing the embalming process. The national average for this job is $52,990, but highly experienced undertakers can go on to make over $60,000 per year. Number 12. An acoustic ceiling tile installer. This one is an oddly specific job where you would essentially only have one task: ensuring that the acoustics in the room are sound. This position requires no educational background or prior experience, just a little knowledge of shock and sound absorbing or reflecting materials. The job will teach you to place them inside rooms to soundproof them, since your main customers will likely be musicians and Foley artists. You can earn up to $23 an hour, with the national average of acoustic ceiling tile installers going up to $48,818 per year. Number 11. Underwater demolition driver. This job is probably one of the wildest ones on this list. Underwater demolition drivers are responsible for clearing natural or man-made obstructions for ships, waterways, mining, and even combat. These professionals equip themselves in diving suits and detonate explosives underwater, a demanding and dangerous job that pays well for the task. All you need is a formal degree certification, since all the other necessary skills are taught on the job. An underwater demolition driver can earn up to $26 an hour and can make up to $54,000 a year. Number 10. Private investigator. Detectives have taken over the imaginations of popular fiction works for over 2 centuries now, and you would be happy to know that it is still a lucrative job. Private investigators are responsible for gathering, analyzing, compiling, and reporting information about potentially unlawful individuals and organizations. It's an exciting job that only requires a high school diploma and some on-the-job training to get you started. Private investigators can earn up to $25 an hour, with the national average indicating that most earn above $50,000 a year. Number 9. Fire investigator. Everyone needs investigators, and the more specialized they are, the better. Fire investigators do exactly what the name suggests. They investigate structures affected by fires of all kinds and try to uncover the real sources behind them. From a lightning strike on a barn to malicious arson in a parking lot, your job would be to find out the real reasons behind the fires for many different kinds of reasons. This position requires an individual to get a post-secondary certificate and some experience as a firefighter, but it pays off at about $31 an hour. The national average for fire investigators can go above $61,000. Number 8. Theatrical makeup artist. Everybody in the entertainment industry needs makeup, and theater artists are some that arguably need it the most. The bright stage lights have a tendency to wash out the actors unless they put on heavy makeup. Theatrical makeup artists will be responsible for understanding and applying the basics of theater makeup, making sure that the actors don't look bleached on stage and overall look perfect. An experienced theatrical makeup artist can make up to $30 an hour, with the national average indicating that most make over $64,000 a year. Number 7. Crystallographer. Beyond being beautiful, crystals are one of the most important items in making technological advancements. Their unique composition enables them to be incredible tools for conducting electricity and reflecting light. And crystallographers are just the people to put their unique structures to good use. These professionals are in high demand, and it usually takes just a little bit of training after obtaining a bachelor's degree to get started. Seasoned crystallographers can make over $90,000 per year and are generally tasked with all kinds of industries. This is one job that is not only fascinating, but also extremely lucrative. Number 6. Speech pathologist. Speech pathologists are language and communication experts that help both babies and adults with all kinds of communication disorders. Their counseling tries to improve their clients' listening, speaking, reading, or writing. They work with people who have difficulty communicating because of developmental delays, stroke, brain injuries, learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities, cerebral palsy, dementia, and hearing loss. People who experience difficulty swallowing food and drink safely can also be helped by a speech pathologist. These professionals are very well paid, with the national average salary going over $80,000 a year, while the highest paid professionals can make over $100,000 a year. Number 5. Snake milker. Ever wondered how we have snake venom to experiment with? If you guessed that somebody is probably in charge of extracting the venom from a snake, you're absolutely right. Snake milkers remove the venom from poisonous snakes, which then goes on to be used for pharmaceutical drugs or research. The experts would be expected to work with some of the most poisonous snakes, ranging from cobras to rattlesnakes. It's a demanding job that pays its professionals over $50,000 a year. Number 4. Toll booth operator. Yes, you heard me right. The people that collect toll fees from you during road trips actually earn pretty well. These individuals are responsible for collecting cash or online payments and giving necessary change if required, and are generally placed between cities, roads, tunnels, etc. This job requires you to have at least a high school diploma and the willingness to work long, lonely shifts at the booth. The national average for toll booth operators is over $30,000 per year. Number 3. Food taster. A dream job for most people is to try the many different kinds of delicious food. But did you know that it takes more to be a food taster than just be willing to eat? Food tasters need to have a keen sense of taste, with many getting trained for the same. You would be trained to speak food to be able to communicate with chefs and manufacturers for any kind of meal or snack, and you will be paid well for it. The salaries for the best food tasters are generally well above $60,000 a year. Number 2. Head lice specialist. One of the worst memories that some people can have from their middle school is lice. They're gross, they're itchy, and they live in your hair. As a head lice specialist, your task would be to remove lice from hair and make sure that your customers don't catch lice. It requires very limited schooling, but pays surprisingly well, with the most experienced specialists earning about $68,000 per year. Number 1. Crime scene cleaner. The last job on this list is not for the faint-hearted, and it is not like a scene from a true crime documentary either. Crime scene cleaners have a tough job and are responsible for making sure that a crime scene is spick and span after the investigators have finished collecting all the evidence from it. It exposes you to gruesome sights and smells on a regular basis, and you would have to have a high tolerance, too, if you would consider this profession. This job doesn't require much education, and all the skills would be taught to you on the job. Crime scene cleaners generally make anywhere between $35,000 to $45,000 a year. Which job would you seriously consider doing? And did I miss out on anything? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and drop a like. See you next time.